Well, hello, hello, hello. This is Rosa from RCG Creations. How are you doing? Bringing to you a card. Not a cooking item, but a card. And I'm going to use this blue paper, this red twine, this little white doily. Isn't that cute? And I got these little hearts. Here that I have to use. And this little, what do you call these? Movie tickets, type of tickets. They're some kind of tickets. And anyway, I got to create something with it because it's the first swap that I'm doing, so I wanted to think outside the box. Okay, and I'm trying to stay within my 15-minute limits. I already did some of this off camera just to save on the movie time. What I did here is I cut that out. It says "Be Mine" with a little arrow, and I hope you can see it on the shiny. I cut it out of the shimmer cardstock, and then I use my Spectrum Norm. Here's the item number. That is DR1. To ink it up, because I cut it out of white. I only have the white shimmer paper. I don't have the other color and stuff. And then I just painted it red, but it says "Be Mine" because this is a Valentine thing. Okay, so I'm doing something different. So what I've done is I went ahead and got a box card. These dies are no name brand, so I don't know the name of them. But here is a whole set. Oh, yeah, that's the whole set of them. And I like them because they got the little stitch edging. So I had to get something that would fit big enough. So that's why I got it. And you see that there? Okay. So now, and I'm going to think outside the box, okay? And I know this is not normal. And I know most typewriters are black and different color, but the newer models that come out now are coming out with different colors. So I'm going to be inking this, and I'm using my Stamparatus. I went ahead and laid down my cardstock. I've got some Sizzix double-sided adhesive here. I forget what you call it. So that way I don't have to worry about using a magnet. Okay, then make sure that's still all. I had it all lined up. It was all lined up. Oh, now I gotta move it over. Let me just move this over, because I don't want to have to move. I don't want to, well, I'm doing it anyway. I just moved my stamp, so. Okay, one more time. I'm going to line this up, stick it on there. When you stick it on this double-sided adhesive, you don't have to worry about using magnets to get in the way. Okay, so let me line this up. Bear with me. Let me get my readers on so I can see. I need my readers to see up close. Okay, we're good to go there. There we are. Pull that down. And then I'm going to be using my Stampin' Up! Real Red ink pad. So I'm going to ink up the entire card. Okay. Alrighty. Let me get myself a wipey because I could see where I messed up a little bit over here. Let me remember, whenever you go around your stamp, before you stamp it on your paper, wipe off any excess ink that shouldn't go there, so it doesn't transfer onto your card. Okay. This closes back up. Line this up. Oh, where did I put my, oh well, I don't have it here. That's okay. I'm going to use my little hanky here. And I'm just going to press it. I'm trying to find my little pressing tool, but I forgot. I took it to a crop this weekend. I host crops once a month at our HOA clubhouse. And I took it, it's in another bag, and I have not unpacked it. But I will. But anyway, I want to hurry up and get this card out because it's due. Today is the last day. Okay. And you see it didn't ink up very well. I didn't press enough. I don't think I got enough ink on it. It's really what's wrong. So I'm going to redo this again. That's when you have a positioning tool, you're able to re-ink it as long as everything. I'm pushing my paperwork back here so it's in the exact same spot as it was before. And I'm going to put a little bit more pressure over here on the part that was missing. That's why it's nice if you have that little positioning tool. It makes it a little bit easier. Bear with me. I'm going to grab something that I can get in here and reach and not pick up my paper. There we go. I have my little spatula that I use for my Cricut. Okay, so that worked out good. Actually, I could do a little bit more in the center there on the keys. Push this back over here. Sometimes when you get the smaller ink pads, they work a lot better and more detail when you have these big stamps like this one. But making sure I get all the red off of there. Let me press down a little bit more here in the center on these keys. That way they get a nice good impression. This is my spatula that I've had since high school, and I graduated in 1979 from my art class. This thing is old, but I love it. I mainly hang on to it just for memento's sake. I don't use it that often, but hey, you got to use what you got to use when you need to do a project. Okay, so that turned out really good. Let me take this off. I like this Sizzix. I'll put in the link in the description box what this is called. Okay, because this is really great because it doesn't leave any marks on your cardstock or your paper, and you don't have to worry about using your magnet because sometimes the magnets are a little too thick. But there's the impression. That turned out pretty cute, didn't it? Okay, so I'm going to wipe this down. I'm going to clean it. I'm going to put it in my scrubber, which I have my Stampin' Up, which this is called stamping scrubber for Stampin' Up, and I'll clean that after the video, not now. Okay, I took this off and I shouldn't have taken it off because I want to stamp my message right on that notepad paper. And I'm just barely touching this just in case some of these pieces of ink are not totally dry. Most of them are, but just in case, I don't want to ruin this. So now I'm going to get my little message, and I am using, what is this called? I have it all right here. Okay, I'm using the Woodworks. It's called Vintage Typewriter Stamp. And then there's the information on it. Oh, I'm using my old camera, which I can't see what's on there. But let me show you this. And I will put a photo of this also in the video so you can get a better view of it all. But there's the actual stamp itself with all the different messages. But I will do a little pop-up just so you see what I used. Okay, and this one says, thinking of you today and every day. I think that's a cute message. And I'm going to put it right in here. Okay. And I'm going to do that again in red. I want to use the same ink. Oh, let me get my little tool. Okay, I'm going to get my ink pad. I'm going to stamp it. I think this ink pad's starting to get a little dry. But we're good because I'm using my stamping platform so I can move it, reposition, and stamp again, and I'll be right on the same spot. Okay, now let's see how that turned out. Oh, that's kind of cute. Just a little crooked, little hair off, but that's okay. That's the end of my stamping. I'm going to close this up and I'll clean all this like I said after the video. And this is the stamping pad that I used. It's an old model, but that's okay. It still works. And I have my ink refills bottle, so we're good to go. Okay, I'm going to give this a few seconds to dry. Let me get my base card. Where did I put my base card? So there's my envelope. Okay, where did I? Oh, here it is. I just got, this is already from a box. I got a box of pre-made cards and envelopes. And I want to use much of those up as possible. And I know it's kind of on the beigey side, but I'm okay, good to go, because all this is going to have different colors. Plus, this goes with this stick it here, so it's kind of beige. So I'm still within my same color family. Okay. So now I'm going to add this on right here. And because I have to use this somewhere, because in this group that I'm in, I have to use it somewhere, and it's too big. I don't want to do that as a focal point. Okay, if I do this, yeah, I could do that, and I can use this as a background. So let me get my ink pad. Excuse me, not my ink pad, my trimmer. Okay. And let me move this. I don't want to break that. Here's my little trimmer. I have my Carl R200 trimmer. I'm going to give myself about an inch. I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm not going to be too worried about it. I'm going to go closer to this edge so I have an even border. Let me line up my line so I know it's just nice and straight. Okay. I don't want to use a whole lot of this. Let me get my scissors and I'm just going to trim this. These are not even my good scissors. My good craft scissors are in my craft bag also. And I'm just going to eyeball that. See that? It's pretty even. So you can still craft a lot with not made any major tools and you're still fine and good to go. Okay, so now let's get my adhesive. Whoops. ATG gun is very forgiving. But not on paper. It's not forgiving on paper. Okay, let's line this up. Hope my head's not in your way. Let me get as close to the center on the top and the bottom. And I don't want to be crooked. Okay, I'm off a little bit, but that's okay. Because I get to just trim off the excess. And nobody needs to be the wiser. I did this on purpose. Don't you know that? It was no accident. Okay. Now, we'll line this up right in here. That'll be nice. Oh, I gotta use the doily. Let's put the doily. You know what? I think I'm gonna cut the doily in half. And I can cut half of it right in. Let's see how that'll work. If I do half of the doily here and on the bottom, yeah, I can still use my doily. I'm just gonna cut part of it off. I'm just gonna cut the little strips off. On this edge and this edge, and then let me line this up so I get the exact same measurement on both ends. So I'm just going to line this up, put it in my trimmer, and that's going to trim that up. Okay, so let's do that. So I'm going to give myself a strip. of adhesive on the bottom half of this little doily. Ah! Ooh. Oh no, I just ripped it. This is a paper doily. I should have known to use my wet glue. Oh man. Okay, you know what? That's not going to work. This is going to be garbage because it's not going to work. I already ripped it. But you know what? Let me see if I can do... I'm just going to trim this. I'm just going to do that. We're going to use this little wheels as part of the doily. Because I get to use, this project says you can use any... As long as you use part of it, part of these items, you don't have to use them all, then you're fine. Okay, so then let me cut this part off. Okay, so I'm going to put a little thin strip of adhesive right through here on the top and the bottom. Since this paper doily is really sensitive, and I'm just pulling back my adhesive so it doesn't show through. That one's kind of ripped, so I'm going to use this part right here. Let me line that up. Okay, that's good there. Let me line this part up. Oops. Line that up. Oh, where am I going to put... I don't have a whole lot of room, so let me... this is thicker cardstock, so I know I'm safe with this ATG gun, because I don't have my wet adhesive with me. I took my refill bottle and my regular bottle of wet adhesive with me to the crop, so they're both in my bag. And then I'll wipe off the excess sticky stuff later. So let's put that on there. And then once it's stuck on here, when you have with your ATG gun, run your finger over the extra adhesive that's in between the letters, and it comes right off. You can always use a gum eraser. I have one that's also in my craft bag. It was a 2-day crop. Actually, I had 3 days. Friday night at another crop at another part of town, and then Saturday and Sunday was the one that I hosted. Okay. All I'm doing is rubbing the adhesive away from the lettering, so it comes off. It does take a minute. It's not instantly, because remember, this is adhesive. Okay, I'm gonna get my see that? See how it came off? There's still a little bit of pieces here and there, but I'm gonna get my glue eraser, and that'll come right off. So now with the bow, I think I'm just gonna make this into a little bow. Let's be nice and creative a little bit here. So I'm just gonna tie a little bow. It's basically like doing your shoelace. I don't know how to do any other bows. I am not good at it. My sister is. My older sister is. But I'm not. And I have seen all kinds of ways. I had all different people show me how they do bows. And there's bows are so pretty. They show me different techniques. But it just doesn't sink in with me. I don't know why, but it just doesn't. So I always just do the traditional shoelace bow. And that's all I try. That's all I do. Okay, I'm just making the loops so they're the same size or pretty close. Let me get my scissors and trim off the excess. Let me get myself a glue dot. Oh, I don't think I have any glue dots. Actually, I think I do. I do have some glue dots right here. Oh, these are the big ones. That's okay. I'm going to use what I can, and I'm going to cut this in half because I don't need theirs. I just need a little tip of this glue. So that's one good thing about glue dots is you can cut what you need. Like in times like this when you don't... Ooh, that's sticky. Oh. Let me put this over here. Like on my release paper. Okay, come on. And then there is my glue dot. I only need a very little piece because this is a tiny little, there we go. There we go. Just enough to cover put the behind the knot, but enough that it'll still stick. Let me maneuver my bow just a little bit. Okay, this one's too long. There we go. Let's move this right here. Okay. And let's do the little rhinestone heart. It's already got adhesive on it. Let's move that one right here. Oh, I still didn't use the blue. Where's my, what did I do with my little message? I just made it. Isn't that terrible? You got a small work area, yet you still lose your pieces. I just had that blue accessory piece. Where did it go? Okay, come on now. I didn't go very far. Okay, so I've done this. I got to use this. You know what? I'm going to have to stop. Oh, I can't believe this. I mean, I didn't go nowhere. That little piece with the little tickets, that's the piece that I'm looking for because I put that blue piece on it already. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to have you wait for me. I'm going to find it and I'll bring you right back. Okay, I'm back. And guess where I found it? I took everything apart. I go, I've only been in this chair. I haven't gone anywhere. But look, it got stuck to the back of my trimmer because there was the adhesive to get ready to put on front of the card. I tell you, these little things just have a mind of their own. Okay, let's get back. That's so silly. Like, oh, I took everything apart. I took every single piece to try to find that thing. Oh, anyway, it's got to be humorous. You have to laugh at yourself. Because you know what? There's nothing else you can do. Okay, so this, where am I going to put this? Because this has to go right in here. And I will trim off the excess once I put the card on here of this little lacy stuff. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this part right here. And I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. Okay, then I'm going to use some more of this and I'm going to put it on the inside. but I'm going to put this part on the inside with some of this red hearts, because there's already too many hearts in here. Be mine. And then just a door, and it's got the double-sided adhesive already on there. Okay. Now we're rolling, rolling, rolling. Okay, so now I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back so I can lay it flat. And I'm going to be very careful on what I'm doing so I don't misplace another item. Okay, now let's line, whoops, there I go again. Get stuff out of my way. I'm still amazed at how little things wander around. Walk away. They just walk away from your table for no good reason. Okay, I'm going to cut a little bit on each edge. But I'm going to line this up as close and as even from the tops and the bottoms and the sides. Okay. Now, oh, I forgot to look for my scissors when I was off looking for everything in a panic. I'm just going to trim the excess just to give it an even edge. Those red fuzzies from that ribbon. I think that's twine, not ribbon. There we go. Oop, there's a little straggler there. Move this out of the way. Okay, so this part I am going to put right in the dead center. Let the front, but I'm going to cut this part off. I'm sitting here squinching my eyes because I can't see when I have my readers right here on my neck. I have one of those eyeglass holder things with the little thing that's like a necklace, looks like a necklace. Okay. And actually I like that size square. I don't need to worry about cutting it down. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some adhesive on it. And since it's going to be the inside of the card, I won't have to worry too much about it buckling like you do on the front of the card. Because when people handle a card, they open and close, and all that, and that you really want to get the adhesive on all four sides of the card. But on this one, I won't have to do that because it's going to be on the inside of the card. And then we'll put this right here, the center. And then I found my wet glue. I knew exactly where it was, so it wasn't lost. And I'm going to attach these little red hearts because you're supposed to use every piece. Well, pretty much every piece. Now, you don't have to use the entire piece, but you got to use every piece. And then I'm going to put this little guy. I'm only going to do the top half here because I'm going to have the little heart. There's a part that didn't get it. It's stuck. There we go. See? And I'm going to stick that little heart right there. And then we'll just use the little baby heart. I always like to look at my card die cuts so I know which is the front and which is the back, because there's usually an area that shows you which is the front and which is the back. And then let's put this right here. Let that sit for just a second. Okay. I'm going to put some little glossy, let me put my glue back on here so it doesn't dry up on me. Put that back away in its normal position where it's supposed to go, so I always know where it's at. I'm going to get some glossy accents now, and I'm going to add this, woo, I almost dropped it there. And then just add it on the sticker, on the ticket. Okay, come on. I haven't used this in a while. Oh, here it comes. And I'm going to use this glossy accents. Let me get over here. I need to get another better light because my main overhead light is over to my left. Excuse me, sorry about that. And so the right hand side where I have to reposition the video camera is on the right. So that's my next project. Get better lighting and get a microphone to get better volume. But you know, like everything else, everything has to work in bits and pieces. Okay. There we go. Excuse me, sorry about that. And it's going to dry clear. Oh, I could see a little spot that I'm missing. And you just dribble, squeeze the bottle. A little drop comes out, and then you just maneuver with the tip to get it where you want it to get. And then it's going to dry. But if there's any dimples, you want to add some more adhesive. It's kind of, a lot of people use this as adhesive, but it's called acid-free, non-toxic, clear dimensional medium. But a lot of people use this as adhesive. I don't. I like it. I only use it because I like it to be shiny. This is good like when you're doing water, or like on the, if you're doing the face and you're doing the eye, and you want the eye, the glisten of the eye, like on a Santa Claus. It's so pretty to put a little of this on there. Okay, so I'm not going to close it. So that is the front of the card, and I used all my pieces that was required, and that's the inside of the card. So there it is. I have to wait for it to dry. I wonder, should I put some glossy accents on? I'm not going to do that. But you notice how I got outside of my comfort zone? And I'm trying not to close this so I don't want it to get on that glossy accent. Got out of my comfort zone, and instead of using a regular black for the the typewriter, I just used red, and I stayed within my same color theme. So there we are. Let me put this right here because I don't want it to get caught. So that is my card and my little tips, and I use my Spectrum Noir marker, my Stampin' Up! Ink pad, my glossy accents from Ranger, my glue dots from Thermo Web, and I use my Stampin' Up! Apparatus. And then this was the stamp from Woodware. Okay, and it's called Vintage Typewriter. And then my, oh, and I did find my my set of dies, because I keep my own little magnets, and I create my own with my fuse tool, my own pockets, so that way they fit and they always stay in place. But this set of dies is actually from Gina Marie. So these set of dies right here. Now the stars, I have no idea where they're from. They're a no name brand. I get a lot of my supplies from resellers on Facebook. There's 3 that I order from. But this is the Gina Marie Designs Stitched Nested Rectangle, and there's 7 dies, and I always keep them together with everything inside. And this is just a sheet protector that I cut down, and then I fused it to fit what I needed to fit. And there we go. I thank you so very much for watching. Don't forget to hit like, comment, and share. We'll catch you in the next video. Take care now. Bye-bye.